Hello, this is Bobby. Today we're going to take a look at the Gradebook in Moodle. And bear with me because there's a lot of different things that we need to look at. Unfortunately, setting up the Gradebook takes some work, but once you do get it set up, I think you're going to really enjoy it and find that grading in Moodle is very simple. It is the preparation that is time consuming and a bit confusing. So we will take this nice and slow. And I am currently in my TS 6000 course because, again, it's a course that's under development in Moodle, and there are some things that are set up and some things aren't. So I'll be able to show you a few different things. So the first thing we're going to do is actually take a look at the gradebook. And we find the gradebook under Course Administration under Settings. So you're going to go to Settings, Course Administration, and then Grades. And we'll click on Grades, and it opens up the grader report. Now what you see here is that I have a student set up, a mock student called AU Student 2. So that I could practice and see what happens when I submit assignments and so on and so forth. And the two things that I have in the gradebook right now are an assignment called Submit Dream Report and something else, and then a week 1 discussion forum. So these have been set up, and right now they would both be gradable. But let's take a look and see how these were set up. So I'm going to go back to, we'll scroll down here. And again, under Settings, it's now called Grade Administration. We're going to go to Course Grade Settings. And let's take a look at that. These are the overall settings for the gradebook. And basically, I have everything set here to default. You might want to look them over and make some changes, but I would suggest leaving everything at the default. So the aggregation is simply where this setting determines whether the category and course total columns are displayed first or last in the gradebook report. So it's just a matter of formatting where you want to see the all of the course aggregations, the grade aggregations. And we have the grade display type. You can put it as the default is whatever it is actually, or you can have it changed to a letter or a percentage or whatever. Again, I would just suggest you leave it all at the defaults. But you might want to take some time and look at all of them. If you click on the question mark, it'll explain what each feature, what each setting will do. So we're going to just save those changes. Not that I made any, but we'll just leave them as is. And then we will go to take a look at, this is the activity itself. If you click on the link, but that's not what I want to do right now either. I'm going to pause for just a second and I will be back. Okay, so what we want to do now is see how this assignment is set up. So we actually need to go back to the assignment itself. So I'm going to go, and that was the week 1. I'm going to turn editing on. And this is the assignment here, Submit Dream Report and Personality Inventory Assignment. And we're going to click on the update. And you have your assignment name and description here, but the grading portion of this is right here under Grade. In order for this assignment to appear in the gradebook, this information needs to be completed. So I've got this set at a grade of a possible grade of 100. The grading method I chose is simple direct grading, and again, if you want to understand what your choices are, you click on the question mark. The grading method, choose advanced grading method that should be used for calculating grades in the given context. To disable advanced grading and switch back to the default grading mechanism, choose simple direct grading. So we want simple direct grading. And the grade category, unless you've set up categories, you're going to leave it uncategorized. I haven't set up any categories. I haven't figured out exactly what a category is, so I'm just leaving everything for the moment at uncategorized. And again, you can set up your if they how many files they can set up, the maximum size. 1 megabyte's really not very big, so we'll just make it as large as possible. We're going to allow notes for this, and I'm going to activity completion. I'm going to show the activity as complete when the student actually gets a grade. So we're going to save that and return to the course. So for each activity in your course, you need to set up those settings in the activity itself. For your discussion forum, you're going to do the same thing. If your discussion forum is gradable, then you're going to want to do the same thing. So we're going to go into the week 1 discussion forum and update. I think in one of my previous videos, I opened up a discussion forum that wasn't set up properly as a discussion forum, and I had assumed that sometimes you wouldn't be able to do this, but you should be able to change your discussion forum settings even after it has been previously set. So if it was set one way, you can still change it. So in the grading here, we have a grade category, again, is uncategorized. But what's really, it's called ratings in the discussion forum and not grades. So you got to pick your aggregate type. If you're the only one teaching, it really doesn't, grading, it really doesn't matter. There might be situations where you have your students grade each other, in which case you might want to pick an average of the ratings or something of that sort. But being that most of the time you will be the only one grading the discussion forum, the maximum grading will be fine. And again, you're going to want your scale at 100, and I will explain why when I get back to the grade book. But again, you need to make sure that these items are set up in the activity and the discussion forums themselves in order. Okay, again, I apologize. What I want to show you next is right here in this little box here with the drop down. You have the grader report, and we want under categories and items full view. And this is where we can set the weighting for each of the grades. So for my courses, each written assignment and weekly discussion forum is worth 2.5 points of the 100, or 0.025%. So that would be the weight of that grade. And this one too is 0.025 or 2.5%. Weighted mean of grades 0.025, 0.025. And what this will allow me is to grade the maximum of up to 100, and then the gradebook itself will calculate the grade at 2.5%. So you can leave your multiplicator at 1, And the offset, I'm not quite even sure what it is, but leave it at 0. And we are going to save the changes. Did it save it? Yes, it did. All right, now there might be some cases where you might have the student do something outside of the course and you still want to add it to your gradebook. You would do that right here. Again, you're in the full view under categories and items, and you can add a grade item here. You would just simply give it a name, and the value is probably what you want, the grade type, maximum grade of 100, and you would save the changes. Let's just add something. Let's just call it test. And we'll leave it at 100 and we'll save the changes, because I can always go back in and delete it. So again, let's say that this weight was going to be 10% of the grade. And we'll save changes here. And now let's go into the grade report itself and take a look at it. So we're going to go to View Grader Report. And here we can actually give the items a grade. So let's just say we're going to give the grade out of a possible 100, we'll give them a 90 on the assignment and a 95 on the discussion. And let's give them 100 on the test assignment and update it. So right now you can see the course total. They have a grade of 97.5. If you want to do just simple grading where you're not giving any attachments to the feedback, then you would do it that way. However, if you want to submit an attachment, say a revised document that the student is sending to you with your comments on it, it is a little bit more detailed, and there does also seem to be a bug in the system in that once you send the file or put the grade in once and then edit it, then you lose the feedback and the attachments and the ability to make additional attachments. So if you want to do it, you better get it right the first time. For instance, I'm going to show you here in the Submit Dream report that we've done before. If I click on the Edit Grade, there should be a box here with the ability to add an attachment, but it is not here, and that's because this grade has been entered already. So if we go back, I just entered this writing assignment here, and now if I go here, because the grade is not entered yet, I'm going to use the grade analysis instead. I can put in all the grade and the feedback and attach the document here and save changes. So I'm going to do that. Let's give it a grade of 95. Some feedback. I'm going to add a file. And upload the file. Send notifications, save changes. And now if I go back to the grader, and we seem to be stuck. Doesn't want to go back. All right, let's go to update. And it's going to make a liar out of me because now it's there. Maybe it didn't save the changes before. So save changes. All right. See all course grades. And now if I edit the grade, the box is not there. And if I go back again to grade analysis, it's going to be there. Let's see what happens if I edit the grade and make it 97. And now the attachment box is no longer there. And it is no longer there. So once you edit the grade, you cannot reattach a document. Now I'm going to log out and log back in as the student. Let's see if I can see my grades. All right, can see the feedback, but I'm not getting I am getting the document as well, so that's good. So this was the original document, this was the submission that I did. So they're getting the feedback as well. So if you want to make the grades and attach the document, you have to make sure you get it right the first time, because once you change the grade, you cannot go back and attach another document.